I was 18 when I decided that I would never get married. I would never have children. Love wasn't worth the kind of pain that could come from it. And true love just didn't exist. It was a thing you found in movies. And so, out of protection of myself, I said, it's not for me. And mind you, context, this did come after a very teenage-like toxic high school relationship. And after I had this really big blowout with my high school boyfriend, that night I had a dream. And in that dream, there was this bald, dark-skinned man. And the way he treated me, like the affection, the care, the love, the intentionality that he put into me in that dream. I don't remember specifics. I just know I woke up and I was like, still on cloud 9. And I was like, wow, I feel like I just met my husband. And I was so dumbfounded. I was like, there is no way that any man could ever treat me the way that guy did in my dream. Literally the man of my dreams. I guess I'll just be married to him, right? And so I set a new standard. Instead of saying I will never get married, I will never know love, I said I will never give any man an opportunity to get close to me, to even have too deep of a conversation with me, really. Unless he's bringing that dark skin, bald man energy. And I thought it was impossible. I thought it was a standard that no man could attain, couldn't even get close to. So I was okay with that too. I'm like, fine. Fast forward to when I met John. Of everyone I had seen up until that point, he was the most mature. Like, things that I saw in him, his ability to not want attention, to be the same person in front of his friends, not in front of his friends. He was just very constant. He reminded me of my granddaddy. And we played like a little cat mouse or whatever, because I was, like I said, off of it completely. But after we found out we had the same birthday, we kind of started hanging out a little bit more. And every time I hung out with him, it was like I was getting glimpses of that energy from the man of my dreams, until I actually started hanging out with him more. And it was that, and it was a spitting image. The way he treated me, the way he looked at me, everything was, it was so strong that I couldn't ignore it. And I knew what I had said to myself. I said I would never give a man a chance unless they came with this energy. And here this guy is coming with this energy. And what do I do? Do I ignore it, or do I go all in? And I went all in. And he stayed the entire time. The entire time he stayed. I never questioned his love for me. Which is so interesting now in this situation I found myself in. So we are basically Siamese twins for years. And then, life starts to happen. And it's mostly him battling his own self. And I've always felt like I have my boundaries. You got to treat me a certain way. And I don't play first, I play only. And so everything that I had gone through with him, I feel like that was just humans are going to be human, and there's a journey, and I'm on this with him, and it was great. But then the pandemic happened. I started having children. We started having children, and this wonderful like romance became heavy laden with responsibility. And by the time we had 4 children and we had settled into his hometown to be near the village to help with the children, so much had happened that, I mean, I had had children. I had been pregnant since 2019. I was either pregnant with a child or nursing a child. So I'm completely, after even like the postpartum, my second pregnancy took me through like, woo, I'm drained. I don't have much to give anyone, not even myself. He is in a space to where, as a man, he has all of this responsibility, and life for both of us is not looking like what we had imagined it to be by now when we first got together. Both being, starving artists in LA, hustling, like making the dreams come true. Like, starving artist is not cute once you start having kids. Like, life became so different, and that's painful. Feeling like, yeah. So anyway, we're both under the weight of our newfound responsibilities. We're not where we used to be. I'm not feeling like he's where he's supposed to be. And I'm not giving myself because I can't, because I need to be in a certain space to do that. He's feeling really dejected and rejected and not wanted, like not, that passionate thing that we had always had. It just wasn't there. And so when people find themselves in a place of unhappiness, they reach for something. They reach for alcohol, they reach for drugs, they reach for distraction. And in that season, he reached for the comfort of feeling wanted by someone else in that kind of passionate way. And like any of our vices, I'm sure it felt good for a while, but then when that's over and you look at what everything is, he left. He left. He just was not there. And he could not tell me what he had done and what it's about to, we'll say, birth. Given who we've always felt like we were, like that, I think I would be offended if he could actually sit like right after and play Usher's Confessions. Like, oh my gosh. So, in a nutshell, that's literally what happened. And I used to think that if a man loved you enough, he would never. But that's not it. Because I do believe he loved me more than you could actually love a woman. I do. But life is more, it's about, there's more to a person. Like, your love for whomever is not enough to keep you from reaching for the bottle. Your love for your children, if you're feeling a certain way, is not enough to keep you from our love just wasn't enough. So that leads to the question, what is? How do you have something like that that's not completely destroyed by what we reach for? And I'll tell you what the answer is. Conviction. The most powerful thing in this world is conviction from God. Despite how you're feeling in your flesh, the way God will stop you from doing something if you are in relationship with him, if he is the head of your life. And the relationship, and it's interesting, people make a relationship with God seem like, this rule that a relationship with God is going to keep you from destroying everything you ever really cared about. And that's what this boils down to. And I hope maybe this helps people look at their own lives, and it makes you reflect on what you reach for when you're feeling like you're not enough. Like how do you cope? What do you reach for to make you the part of you feel better that is broken? And what you should reach for is peace and knowing that God believes you are worthy, because you are. And what's sad to me is, as much as we had gone through and as much of whatever my needs, I felt like I was not getting from him, I had my relationship with God to lean on, so I didn't have to reach for things that I usually would. For me, I'll tell you about it in another video. But since he didn't have that, and he was spiraling in the turmoil of life that we all get into, what he reached for had the ultimate consequence. So that's what I have to say at this time to those who keep reaching out to me for a comment. What is this?
With another series of, that is Mariah Ann Martin, coming in to share with us some new episodes of what she is going through and talking about relationship, marriage, and everything. As we all know, that she said she's still healing in the process. So going to see what people say about this one. Comes in to say, I wasted 25 years, never again, I promise you it will get better. He will come back crying like a little But you are stunning and you and young. Live your life to the fullest. God bless you and the babies. So what do you think about this? Comment, share, and also subscribe. Bye.